you know, the idea wake up. It's anchored. Did you understand the word anchored? Anchored. No. Right. So this is an anchor. ANCHOR. An anchor. And very heavy thing that keeps you in one place, right? So the idea, uh, get up or I woke up, is anchored. It's held in the morning. As an idea. Yeah, yeah. So the whole concept. So it's just a it. What? So what you said is not wrong. It's just interesting. What you said is not wrong. It's just interesting because language lives and breathes, and so it changes a little bit. Right. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll shut up now. I'll shut up. I've explained anchor, but yet actually anchor you will find used in different ways. For example, in you have a news anchor. This is the person. This is the last person who speaks on a news report, because the last piece of information you hear will be the last piece of information you remember. And so this person is called news anchor. Your studies are in media, right? Yeah, okay. So news is part of media. So if you have a news report on television or on the radio or on the internet now, the last person who speaks is called the anchor, the news anchor, because they have the most powerful piece of information that you will remember. You notice in some countries they put the weather after the news, or the sport at the end of the news. This has a specific psychological purpose. It's specifically designed to make you forget everything that you've just heard. It's designed to fill your head with, if you've got the sport at the end, it's designed to fill your head with sport, which is useless, meaningless, and pointless most of the time in a global scale. If you're playing sport, it's different, right? But if there's a report about the football match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, or the fastest man in the world, or something silly, right? Something really silly. Then you remember all this nonsense, and you completely forget that 15 children were blown up in a terrorist attack in Turkey, or that the American government has bombed another country back to the Stone Age, or that Elton John got married, or something silly. Something that's just silliness on top of silliness. Or you forget what the Prime Minister said because right? Because that's the way it's designed. But we told you on the news. I can only remember the sport. And I know the sun is going to shine tomorrow. No. In some countries they have the news. Some countries they have the weather before the news, which is just weird. In Britain, on Radio 4, which is the intellectual radio station, BBC Radio 4, and theatre and drama and plays and politics and discussion, they have what do they call it? They have the weather forecast for the sea before the news. They tell you the weather in the different regions of the sea. Well, it's kind of logical. Britain is an island and it's surrounded by water. Yes, but people don't live in the water. Right. I mean, how useful is that when you're living in a block of flats in central London? You can get the weather forecast for the different regions of the sea around Britain. Welcome to the nonsense of the news. Anyway, the key word is anchor, because an anchor is something that fixes or holds you in one place, and you can use it in different ways in the language. And the example that I used was that something is anchored. Something is anchored. It is held in one place so that it can't move. It also exists in conversation as well. Anchors are key words or phrases that people use, especially in marketing, to focus a person's attention. One of the most important keywords is the word now. The word now does something to the human brain which is like a light going on. So that when someone says, and now, people wake up and they pay attention. A lot of adverbs are used in that way in marketing. Actually, and they're used as reference points to help capture people's attentions. Like a good presentation, not always, but often has adverbs placed at specific points just to wake people up if they're falling asleep. So something to think about. So there, it's not just this big heavy thing that ships used to stop themselves drifting off in the wind. Yeah, it's also something related very much to language as well. And I absolutely can't remember why I started talking about anchors. Get up, that was it. We were talking about wake up and get up. The idea of wake up and get up, these are anchored in the morning concept. That's it. Sorry. Yeah. It's just because you study the marketing elements of things in business, and you will, if you get deeper into the marketing, you'll find out about things like this. That anchors are key elements that focus a person's attention. Or you can ask it like this: what is a person going to remember? What is a person going to remember? What's the thing that they're gonna? What do they get when they think about that thing, or they come back to it? What part are they going to come back to? What's the anchor there that they're going to remember when they come back to it in their mind? When they think about our product or our company, what image are they going to have in their mind of the brand, and what it is that we're trying to sell? Which is really the wrong question, because you should really be thinking about, how am I improving the quality of life of my customer? That's the real question to answer in that situation. Anyway, shut up. Tell me to shut up. I'm sorry. You were so polite listening to me there and telling me not to shut up. Right, I'll be quiet now. Sorry. Please continue.